What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JBsports back again with another one. World-renowned promoter and CEO of Top Rank Boxing, Bob Arum, aka the Bob Father, this past weekend did an interview on Barbershop Conversation, hosted by Fred. And in regards to when will we see the pound-for-pound king enter that square circle again, that being Terrence Crawford, the Bob Father says there's a huge announcement coming soon, a major announcement coming soon. Fred threw out Keith Thurman's name. I don't know if Bob Arum heard that, but all Bob Arum said in that regard was they will make their announcement. And I find it kind of hard to believe that'll be Keith Thurman making an announcement since Bud Crawford is the champion. Keith Thurman don't have a belt. He's been inactive, to say the least, the last 3 or 4 years. You know, I know due partially to the pandemic and due partially to injuries that he suffered in his career. But one thing that I don't see it being Keith Thurman is he's not ranked in the WBO. You've got to be ranked in the WBO in the top 15. In a voluntary defense in the WBO, you have to be ranked in the top 15. I checked the top 15, the updated rankings in the top 15 of the WBO welterweight division. And Keith Thurman is nowhere to be found. He's not ranked there, so it's not going to be Keith Thurman. People was throwing out Josecito Lopez. He's not ranked in the top 15 of the WBO too. So you can't just throw these people's names out and think they're going to be fighting Terrence Crawford and not even ranked in the top 15. I know a lot of people say, well, hold up, JB Sports. Manny Pacquiao is not even ranked in the WBO. He's not even ranked in the top 15 of the WBO, and you're right. But I guarantee you, once that fight is announced, or maybe a little bit before that fight is announced, you will see Manny Pacquiao ranked in the top 15. They got a couple of open spots in the top 15. I think 2 vacant spots in the top 15, and one of those spots will be included with Manny Pacquiao in that particular slot. Rest assured of that. So I believe it is going to be Manny Pacquiao. I think they're looking at having that fight sometime in the summer of 2021. July could be the date. July is also a date that I'm hearing that Adonis Ugas versus Errol Spence Jr. unification fight will take place. They're looking at Dallas. They're looking at maybe San Antonio, as Ugas them are not all that pleased about the fight taking place in Dallas. They want to be compensated if they go to Dallas and fight Errol, so they're still negotiating that. But that fight is going to go down in July. It could be Dallas, maybe San Antonio, as they've staged fights there as latest as October 31st, as they staged Leo Santa Cruz versus Devonte Tank Davis lightweight title fight there. Junior lightweight title matchup there. So we will see what happens. We will see what transpires. But that's the breaking news. Major announcement Bob Arum says coming in regards to Terrence Crawford's next fight. And it's been wide speculation that it could be Keith Thurman. Like I said, the way that Fred dropped that name right before Bob Arum said this, after he made that comment, they will make the announcement, leading a lot of people to believe that it is Keith one-time Thurman. One time, but it's not going to be Keith one-time Thurman. I'm hearing what Thurman's going to have a fight coming up in the summer too. The opponents that are being named are Andre Berto, a fellow Floridian, and then a former champion of Devon Alexander. Those are the 2 names being prominently mentioned as Keith one-time Thurman's next opponent. Now, if it is Manny Pacquiao, where would this leave Mikey Garcia? Mikey Garcia did an interview recently, said, I got other options beside Manny Pacquiao. You know, I would be surprised if Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao does come to fruition, that Keith Thurman versus Mikey Garcia, that would be a good fight. The thing about it is that fight would have to go to pay-per-view. And that's a tough fight to put on pay-per-view when you don't have either guy holding a belt. But both guys, the way the income that they make and the purse demand that they've made in their fights, you got to understand Keith Thurman been in the fight with Pacquiao, Sean Porter. He's fought Danny Garcia. He's made big money fighting those fights. Those fights were, 2 of those fights were on cable. They weren't on pay-per-view. The Danny Garcia fighting the Sean Showtime Porter, but right now we're dealing in different times with the pandemic. And not a lot of times what a lot of people are doing is, if you think you're going to be making pre-pandemic money, PBC is going to throw you on pay-per-view, just like they're doing with the Chris Arreola, Andy Ruiz fight. You know, he making 7-8 million fighting AJ. Okay, you want to make close to that or some of that, we're gonna throw you on pay-per-view. And if we do these minute buys, you will get that. If we don't, you're gonna have to take a little less. And I think that's because that's what they're gonna have to do it for a potential matchup with Keith Thurman and Mikey Garcia. You know, what those guys expecting to make what they made in the past, that fight would have to go to pay-per-view. So we will see what happens and we will see what transpires. But that's the breaking news, aka Bob Arum, the legendary and Hall of Fame promoter, spilled the beans a little bit on the barbershop conversations and said it's a big announcement coming in regards to Terrence Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford's been out here speaking his piece, speaking what he feels, saying what he thinks, not holding nothing back in regards to Errol Spence fight, saying that fight is done. He's moved on. He's moved past that fight. That fight is in the rearview mirror. Don't ask him about that fight ever again because he tried to make the fight happen. Errol Spence didn't want no smoke, a.k.a. Free Smoke didn't want no smoke, according to Terrence Bud Crawford. He's moved on. And in regards to a Virgil Ortiz fight, he said that fight's not ready yet. The guy's wet behind the ears. He's a prodigy. He's a prospect, basically what Terrence Bud Crawford said. He's at least 2 fights away. Fight Green Machine, a.k.a. Igor Kavalaskas. Fight him, beat him, and then come see me after that. But right now, you're not ready. It's basically what Terrence Bud Crawford said. And in regards to a Sean Showtime Porter fight, he said, I see you trying me, but I got bigger fish to fry. I'll get back to you if it don't work out with this big fish that I'm trying to catch. That's basically what he told Sean Showtime Porter. My thoughts and prayers go out to Sean Showtime Porter, man. He revealed this past weekend that he had the COVID-19. I wish him a speedy and speedy recovery. Speedy recovery, man. I hope he overcomes that. They say he's been having some symptoms with the smell and taste. So I just hope he, quarantines and gets healthy and be back on the scene soon. Get back in the ring and get back to commentating because he's one of the best boxing commentators that are out there in the business right now. So wish him the best. But as far as Sean Showtime Porter, he doesn't seem to be eager to make that fight happen. He's looking at Manny Pacquiao, and he's looking at Sean Showtime Porter more as a plan B. So for all indications, I did a video maybe 2 or 3 months ago saying that Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Bud Crawford would take place in July of 2021. And it's been a roller coaster ride ever since. People have been saying, well, he's fighting Mikey Garcia, he's fighting Conor McGregor, or he's still pushing for the Floyd Mayweather fight. Been a lot of things, a lot of names been thrown at as far as the potential matchups with Manny Pacquiao. But it always, in my mind, in the video backs this up that Terrence Bud Crawford was the likely opponent. And a guy that I mentioned as the other guy that was in the mix was Mikey Garcia, and that's what it seems to be coming down to right now. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires when that major announcement is announced by they, as far as Bob Arum go. And who would they be? They have to be somebody that the WBO champion would concede announcing this fight, and that would have to be Manny Pacquiao. That's one thing when Floyd Mayweather was doing his thing. You would always hear, oh man, he's gonna fight this guy. He's fighting Devil Alexander next. He's gonna fight Keith Thurman next. Keith Thurman's gonna announce it. Now, and Floyd Mayweather would always say, until you hear it from me, it's all nothing but a bunch of rumors, a bunch of gossip. Is basically what he said. And I think that holds in the same regard with Manny Pacquiao. He's going to be the guy that announces the fights. So you hear about these other guys, like Mike Garcia was doing a video, oh, we're close. We're in negotiating with him right now. Hopefully we'll get something done soon. And, Mikey Garcia is going to announce it. Now, Mikey's not going to announce it. You heard Terrence Bud Crawford. He kept saying, hey, I'm working on something, and just stand by, Sean Showtime Porter. But he never said, hey, I'm in negotiations with Pacquiao, and we're working on it, and hopefully within a week we'll have this thing wrapped up. Talking like he the A-side. He never did that. But he always answered the question that he wanted to fight Pacquiao, and hopefully he get that fight next. But he always understood the situation he in as regard to the Manny Pacquiao fight. Pacquiao is the clear A-side, and you would never be giving up the announcement to a B-side fighter in Keith one-time Thurman or Sean Showtime Porter or Jose Tito Lopez or Virgil Ortiz for that matter. You would never concede that when you're the champion. Only way you would concede that is you fighting a legendary fighter, Manny Pacquiao, who trumps everything as far as your accolades go as being the WBO champion. Let me know your thoughts on this matchup between Terrence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. I think it would be a tricky fight for Terrence Crawford early on. I think the unorthodox and the quick footwork and the in and out movement will give Terrence Crawford problems early on. But Terrence Crawford is the 2021, the new age version of Floyd Mayweather. He will download what the movements and the punch variety of Manny Pacquiao, and he will make the adjustment somewhere around round 4, round 5, and he will start to pick Manny Pacquiao apart, start timing him, jumping in, catching him with them right hands like Juan Manuel Marquez used to always do. Once Manny Pacquiao start trying to take the right hand away, then then Crawford will start landing the left hand, start landing the left hook, and he'll just start to befuddle Manny Pacquiao, start to break him down, and we go down the home stretch. I think he will start to kind of pummel Manny Pacquiao, maybe even stop him. But Manny Pacquiao is a guy that has a lot of heart, a lot of tenacity. He might be able to survive that, but I see Terrence Crawford winning a clear decision over Manny Pacquiao, and wouldn't rule out a late stoppage. But Pacquiao has been around a long time. I think his survival skills will kick in, and his power will still be there where Crawford won't jump in and go for the kill when he does have Pacquiao hurt. I think he would kind of respect the power of Pacquiao more than his other opponents that he stopped since he's been in the welterweight division. When he stopped 6 straight welterweights, some people say 9 total fights that's in a knockout that he's had in his last 9 fights. I know he's had 6 straight knockouts in the welterweight division. I think that streak ends against Manny Pacquiao, but I think he gets a clear decision win as he takes over the fight in the midpoint of the fight and takes over down the stretch and dominates at times Asian and veteran Manny Pacquiao. Let me know your thoughts on this particular matchup, and let me know your thoughts on this announcement. Do you think it's going to be Pacquiao? You think it's going to be someone else? One of these other fighters I've mentioned in this video. Let me know your thoughts and hit the like button if you like the content of this video. And subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.